Hello, everyone, and welcome to our week 2 of the Daily Creative Challenge. Happy Monday, everyone. It is so great to be back here live from New York at the Adobe offices right here in New York. So, hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Jack, Rachel, and Cindy, thank you so much for tuning in. And everyone else, absolutely hop into the chat. I see it a few seconds behind everyone else sees it. So if it takes me a little bit to get to your comments, that's probably why. We're back here again for our second week of Daily Creative Challenges, where we are learning Adobe XD and experience design in this broader lens of designing for things that could make our Earth better, sustainability and social good. And we have been so excited to just dive into it. Hello, Tom and Richard, Colleen from Syracuse. Oh, this is lovely. It's so great that everyone's here and we're ready to dive into some design work, right? That's why we're here. So, hey Tom, how's it going? Jim, thank you everyone for tuning in. So, we're diving into something here. Let me show you what it is if you're not familiar. It's called the XD Daily Creative Challenge. This homepage is actually going to be helpful to you if you haven't clicked this blue button yet. It's behance.net/challenge/XD. And you can click that button, take the challenge. You'll be notified every time every time there's a new challenge. So that's every single day. And so as you can see, we have the first half already done. That was from last week. Really fun times last week. We did all of these previous ones. And then today, we're doing this one, checkout. So you can get our starter file here, and you can download that for Adobe XD. And that's what I'm going to be using as we jump into this design as well. And so we'll dive into that prompt in just a second. Also on this page, you can get a link to our Discord channel. Our Discord channel is just killing it. So here's our Discord. Discord is like this group chat. It's like a big group chat, and there's thousands of designers in here, many of them similar to you or I. And we're all learning design, and we're sharing our feedback, and we're giving people our critique, and we're helping people become better designers. And that's really what's great. So in here, there's a channel called Current-Challenge. And that's a great channel for you to share your work from these challenges with everyone else in the community. So share it in there. You can share like an XD link, a prototype link, or your Behance page. Any option works. And we'll give you feedback. We'll give you comments. So people have been doing that, and that's been awesome. Like, look at some of these that people have been submitting. There was one here that I wanted to call out I really liked. Where is it? Oh yeah, okay. I'll find it here. I'll find it. I promise. I can't find it, can I? How high up was it? Anyway, there was a great one with fish. Like these little fish bowls as a monitor to track. I think I passed it. That was a great one that I loved. Anyway, we're all just like contributing to the conversation there and just having a blast with it. So jump into there, be part of the hundreds of people that are online right now, and participate in the feedback. So here we are, number 5. Number 5. That's exciting, right? Jack says, always great conversations going on in the Discord. I'm glad you enjoy the conversations. There are other channels besides the one where we're sharing the feedback for the designs. There's other ones where you can introduce yourself. You can chat about other things, not design related. It's like a platform for any discussion you'd like with any other designers. So here we are at number 5. This one's fun. Design a grocery store checkout monitor that shows environmental impact of a customer's purchase. Try designing a data visualization of the overall impact. How might this monitor lead people to be more environmentally friendly consumers? I think this is a really fun prompt. I hope you enjoy it as well. Because whenever we go to the store, there's tons of decisions at play, right? And so lots of different products to choose from when you're at a store. And one of those factors that's important for some people is choosing things that are that don't have as bad of an environmental impact in terms of how it's produced or how it's thrown away, or both of those, really. Oh, Jack, thank you for the link to the the prototype I was thinking of. I really liked that one. So Jack put a link in the chat. So thank you for putting that in there. So I have some other inspiration of some other dashboards or like checkout experiences that I think might be, helpful in terms of that inspiration phase for this. Oh, Jim says, excited to see this. Had a very bad experience with Home Depot self-checkout yesterday. Jim, can you actually, I'm really curious, what was your experience? Because I think this can tie in. I think this could really tie into our design here. So I just really want to hear what that was like and where it could have been better. And maybe we could incorporate that into the design somehow. That would be fun. We don't need to worry about every single aspect of the checkout experience. We're simply focusing on the environmental impact aspect of it, because I think you could endlessly go down a rabbit hole of, just doing all the discounts and the different coupons and the other things you can do. Here I have a link to an article I found about sustainable hacks you can do in the grocery store for shopping, and so that could be a further reading if you want to discover more about how shoppers actually manage something like this and how it could have an influence on their checkout experience. And of course, it's probably not going to change their decision in the moment because they're already at checkout, right? So they've already made decisions on these purchases, so it's more a reflective visualization of their decisions, and it is meant to then hopefully come into play the next time they're at the store. They might again think about some of these things before they buy it again. So there's also an opportunity to maybe up level this. So telling people about the environmental impact of items before they even get to the checkout. That could be an interesting aspect. Jim says the store looked like a screen for an employee, almost like an intranet, but with tactile screen buttons. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. The self-checkouts can be just a nightmare. They can be a nightmare. So I started with something here, and you might be like, Sam, what the heck is this? But this is the start of what this checkout monitor is going to be. And so when I say checkout monitor, I mean the monitor that you look at. Some stores don't have them. But the monitor you look at when you're being rung up and you see all the items displaying on there. Sometimes they put ads on there. It's come on, don't put ads on there. And so I'm envisioning a section right next to it that measures that environmental impact. And I was thinking of using spheres, these spheres that actually would fall into place, and the size of the sphere would be representative of how much that environmental impact is. And so, just checking my time here. Cool. And so they would just kind of fall from the sky. So I think that could be kind of fun. And a green background, maybe it doesn't have to be green, but I feel like I'm just riding the green wave because this is all about sustainability and green things. So I prepared that, and we're going to hop into it. I also have some items here that I'll pull in. This is a repeat grid. So it's just a repeat grid of name of an item and its price, and then these ones are total prices when it adds up. Jim says the check assistant person told me to press the topmost button to start the checkout process, almost unreadably small. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Home Depot has got to get on that because that's not cool. So I think to begin, the first part of this experience will probably be the first scan of an item, right? And so we'll start with, I just duplicated that artboard because we're going to be dealing with lots of duplicates so that we can use auto animate. So everything will just be slowly building off each other duplicates of each and every item. So I duplicated this one with my sphere at the bottom. And the idea here is that I actually want the sphere to fall from the top. And so I'm going to move it up. Something to notice here is that if you've watched any of the other streams, like when I move an item, or maybe you've experienced this, when you move an item off the artboard, it like lands on the pasteboard, like this text box here. And you're like, now it's off the artboard, and you actually don't want that because auto animate won't know how to animate to the next screen, because it does like start position, end position, and it moves from A to B. So what I did here was I actually put the sphere inside an object, inside a group that also has an object on the canvas. So it actually stays on the canvas even when you move. And the rectangle, this object on the canvas, is just a 0% opacity rectangle. So no matter what, the sphere is always going to be on the canvas because the bigger group is on the canvas. So that allows us to animate it from all the way off the screen to all the way onto the screen. And so we can actually just wire this up. And but before we get there, we are going to do maybe like adding each item we're going to add the first item, I think. So I'm actually going to add a screen even before that for our almond milk. It's going to be the first item. And I'll bring our total over as well. So that's just a copy and paste. I made that earlier. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we'll just start with the first one. Actually, no, I want it to start, my bad. Let's bring it to this one. We want it to be on the second one because this is after the item is scanned. It's now the second step, and then the ball is going to drop. So we'll do, oh, whoa, not what we want. Almond milk, total $5. Okay, that's what we want. And so we're going to make this our home artboard. You see there's a little blue tag? That means home artboard. We'll set this one as the home artboard, and we are going to wire with this blue wire from the first artboard to the second artboard. And we'll just do I think we'll just do a time transition, because as the viewer of this experience, you're not actually interacting with this at all. You're kind of just watching it, right? So time, maybe we'll do a slight delay, like 0.5 seconds. And then we'll do a auto animate transition, sure. And we are actually going to, okay, so it should, you don't have to do an auto animate transition, but it'll just dissolve in. And then right after that, the ball is going to drop. Okay, so let's copy these items into here as well so that doesn't go away. And so lots of copy and paste. You'll find that is very helpful as a tool when you're building something like this. And I'll wire this one up as well. Jack says, pro tip, Howard Pinsky gave me, you can also wire the object and then move it off the screen and it will stay tied to the artboard. I did not know that. That's fascinating. Okay. I mean, I'm a designer on the team that makes this. I didn't even know that. So that's a great hack. Okay. So there we go. Boom. The item showed up and the ball dropped in. So, and it's the reason why I did that for almond milk is because I believe almond milk takes a lot of water to produce, and so that's why it's a kind of significant size. This is not scientific, but I imagine if it was actually made, you'd have a scientific scale to how big each of these are. So something you might have noticed is that the ball just, drops in. It's okay, but it's nothing that great. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to keep it on auto animate, but let's change it to bounce. And this, I'm honest with you, this has been the only situation where I could ever imagine using this easing bounce because it's just, I feel like it's so impractical for like any other animation use case unless you're doing like a ball dropping. So let's look at it again. Boom, look, and now it drops into place. And I know people are going to criticize me for using bounce, but if there is a situation to use bounce, like this is it, right? So perfect. Let's go to the next step where the second item will come into play. Boom. Oh wait, I don't want, actually I want that to continue with my list, so I'm gonna copy this over again. Oops. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. Cool, what position is this at? It's at, I just wanna make sure it stays in the same place. That's at 54,108, okay. Let's change this to 108, just so it stays in the same place when we're moving around. Okay, and then we'll reduce this down to also have strawberries. And we'll change this to $7 now that the price has gone up. And so this is going to progress again. And so I'm doing these spheres that are dropping, right? But and you're gonna approach this challenge with a totally different mindset. I think you should, how do you want to visualize this environmental impact? Maybe it's not spheres, right? I think you can. I'm going to change this transition here because I actually don't want bounce when it's loading the next item number, which is why I'm doing those as two separate transitions, because I don't want it to bounce when it's simply just appearing with the name. So I'll just do a normal, like a transition dissolve. That's fine. And now I'll duplicate it again. Oops. There we go. But with the second sphere. And so the strawberries is maybe like less environmental impact. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to make another one like this. I'm going to scale it down. I made the sphere in XD. It's just a radial gradient on a shape with like a highlight. That's just a highlight. It's a Gaussian blur, object blur on a sphere, and like a shadow as well, just to make it look sphere-like. This is where going to art school comes into play. All those drawing classes, rendering spheres. Has anyone done that? Where you have to like pay attention to where the highlight and the shadows are. That came in handy. Perfect. And we'll do that. I'll have it on this page. I'll copy it onto this one as well, and I'm going to move it to the top of this group and move it up, so that way it's still on the artboard. And now we wire this one up with the bounce. We can actually copy our interaction here. So if we select this artboard and do copy, Command C, and then on this artboard we do paste interaction, it'll paste the same interaction, and we're going to just change the destination. So it was going back to that original artboard. I just pasted it as an interaction and then set the new artboard as where we want. So I don't actually have to set up that wiring again. And so let's look at it now. So almond milk, boom. Wow, strawberries. Oh, look at that. I don't know why I think that's so fun. I think it's kind of fun. Strawberries usually come in those plastic containers, but maybe if it's in season, it's maybe not as bad as the almond milk. And then we're gonna duplicate again. Command D. That's probably my most used shortcut in XD. Jack says, first year of college drawing course, they made us to do freehand draw spheres and ellipses and straight lines. I still can't do it. I had to do that too. Anyone that's taken a drawing class has had to do that. And it's a fun experience. You get, I think actually as designers, Alexis is in the house. Alexis, how's it going? Oh, great to see you. I went to school with Alexis. Also another Adobe Live host sometimes. So if you know her, you know. She's the one. I don't know what I was saying, but we're going to continue with this. So, okay. I think what we were doing is that we're adding the next item, right? Okay. And I'm just going to say, okay, I'm going to copy this. I don't know why the repeat grid, it's not maintaining the same information that I was hoping it would. Like, see, it just keeps saying strawberries. I'll have to ask an engineer about that one. Okay. We'll set this up and we'll do the coffee pods. Coffee pods are bad for the environment. They're all like individually packaged. So this is going to be a big sphere. You ready? Okay. Cool. Let's duplicate this again. So that was for the coffee pods text, and now we are going to do the sphere itself. So let's make sure everything's wired up. Let's do that. Time transition, duration. No, we do not want that long of a duration. Short duration is good. And then we'll wire this one up again. We'll do that same paste. No. Paste interaction. Here we go. This one's the bounce. Okay. So copy. I'm using my keyboard to do that. And then paste oh, what happened there? Copy. And then paste interaction. And again, it's going to the wrong artboard, so I'm just rewiring it. But then it's set up to do that bounce. Okay, now let's do another sphere. Okay. So the coffee pods, hopefully you guys all know this, but like those little plastic things individually wrapped, yeah, not good for the environment. Okay, so that's going to be the coffee pods. That's going to represent the coffee pods. I could also imagine like an experience where maybe like if this is a touch screen, like you can tap on it and it maybe gives you more information about like why the impact of this was like estimated this way. And so you could also like let them like inquire about it, you know? Okay, so I'm going to have that one there, copy, paste back onto the previous one, and I'm moving it like that all the way up. Cool, in that group. And let's look at it now. I just love watching this. This is great. Almond milk, boom. Strawberries. Oh, that was a really slow transition. I can fix that. Coffee pods. I think someone said maybe this could be a little faster, the bounce. I think you're right. I think it could be. But also, like, it's cool when it's slow. Why not? Ed seems like a fan of pour over. That's cool. Do the pour over thing. As a graduation gift to myself, I got an espresso machine, and that's been a blast. Definitely cooler than coffee pods, way cooler. So if you're into the cool factor, go for an espresso machine. I'm digging this. Are you guys digging this? And I can't wait to see the other ways that we actually find that we can, all of you guys, I mean by we, I mean you guys, everyone watching, to visualize this environmental impact, because I think there's a lot at stake here, and maybe they're not spheres. Maybe you go for something else, a different visualization. So let's do maybe one more, and then we have to wrap up. Okay. I appreciate all of these comments in the chat. This is so fun. You guys are the best. Do you realize that? Everyone here is the best. Okay, so we'll copy this back. Also, I forgot to update the price, but that's okay. You know, for when you design, update the price. I only have half an hour, so that's my excuse. I keep using that excuse, like for things I don't get to. Sourdough bread, here we go. Great. Everyone, who doesn't love sourdough bread? Alexa says, love visualizing environmental impact. Keep saving the world one bounce at a time. What if the orbs looked like a globe? Oh my God, yes. And Alexis knows how, because we went to school together, how like into space and like Earth and like all that I am. So like I'm really into that idea. And I may or may not already have like Earth images like on my computer ready to go, but I think we're too far invested at this point in the green spheres to go back. So sourdough, boom. I don't think I was trying to look this up online, like what's the environmental impact of sourdough or just bread, and I think they said if it has like this certain type of oil, it's not good. Okay, here's the thing. I think nothing's going to have a zero environmental impact, right? Everything's going to have an environmental impact, but it's just making the decisions that are better than maybe something else. So buying the big yogurt tub instead of the individually packed yogurt tub, right? And so we can add that one in there. I'm realizing that I don't have enough time actually to get to adding the last sphere. But you can do that for yourself when you're designing this. So to share, we go up to the blue share button, and you can do share for review. I highly encourage you to then pop that over into Discord. We can talk about it there, and then share it on Behance. So here's what it looks like on Behance. You can go into the settings. You can like describe your design there. You can embed it. And then when you upload it to Behance, here's the pro tip. As I wrap up, I don't have much time. You give it a title. And then under discoverability, do XD, daily challenge, and add that as a tag. You'll show it with everyone else and their daily challenges. So very, Alexis says, explore your space. Yes. Okay, awesome. Thanks for tuning in, Alexis, and everyone else, of course. Okay, let's go back to the main shot. That's all for today. I'll be back again tomorrow, though. And of course, we have another XD related stream coming on right after this, so stay tuned. And let's come back tomorrow and we'll talk more about designing XD and our daily challenge. So I'm glad you had fun, Julio, or Julio, sorry. I'll see you back at the same time tomorrow, and good luck designing. Peace out, everyone.